I get started, I just want to say my hair is a mess again. I am sorry for that, and I'm also trying to slowly figure out the entire cut and paste process of my new thing that I'm using to upload. Well, not really upload, but you know what I mean, to edit. I'm sorry for that last couple of seconds. My camera just decided when I pressed the pause button that it needed to continue filming. So before I get started, I'm going to definitely keep this video 10 minutes today. I'm going to try and keep it under 11 because I got some more editing to do for my other channel. I will maybe link it in the description. I don't know if I will or not yet. Just trying to get that channel off the ground. So I'm just trying to make this video as brief as I can because this is my life part 2. So where I left off last time was wrestling, grade 6, 7 area. I want to go back to grade 6 because this is when an event that had happened that I haven't said much about, but my friend actually hates me for this. A long time ago, I was in grade 6. We had a school field trip to go to Barkerville, and if you don't know what that is, look up Billy Barker, Barkerville on Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever you like to use, and please look that up. And before I get started, I just want to say this is definitely what I'm wearing today. It's not paid to advertise, but I thought it was a cool shirt, so I decided to throw it on. I wasn't paying attention to this part until I threw it on, but anyways, without further ado, and no more, hopefully, stopping this video because I'm running out of breath because I feel like I'm talking faster than I can think here. It sucks. My camera just did it again. I went to go and hit the thing and it's like, no. Anyways, we were going to Barkerville. Now, the first thing we did, we got on the bus. Everybody was playing music and I was sitting beside a kid named Jerome. Now, Jerome, he was the fastest kid in our school. He loved the sport basketball. Could not turn if his life depended on it. He'd be at a full dead-on sprint, and he would just completely eat dirt. He was that fast, his legs could not keep up with him. Now, if he sees this video, hi. Anyways, without further ado, I was sitting with him. We got to Prince George, we went to UNBC, and I went and bought a headphone splitter and an extra set of headphones. So Jerome and I were listening to music all the way to Barkerville, but before I get to that part, I just want to go back when we were in Prince George. After this, we went to the swimming pool, and this is where my friend actually hates me for this. We were jumping off the springboard at the pool. I'm not sure whether it was my fault or not, so I do sort of feel bad about this in a way. Convinced my friend to jump off the springboard. Now, he did this. He did it many, many times. But the last time he did it, and this is where he completely got afraid of water, and if you're listening to this, I do not care. I'm telling the story anyways. Anyways, he jumps off, he gets some water down his throat. He starts choking and flailing around. Lifeguard looks right at this kid, flailing around, can't breathe. He's going slowly underwater, and for the first time in my entire life, I dived in there, literally dived. I looked like a beach whale. I jump in there, I grab him, I pull him to shore, I push him up. I don't know why, but I had so much adrenaline at that time. And I feel like it was kind of my fault that now he's afraid of water because I convinced him to do this. But That's all I'm going to say about that. I saved his life. He can be a pain at times, but I always remind him, and he always says, "Why do you always have to bring that up?" Because it is a true story. So, I did this. Now, I'm going to flip to grade 7. Now, grade 7, I was still afraid of heights at this time, but this is the first time I had actually jumped off of something that I considered very high, and I actually enjoyed doing it. It was my first time ziplining. Now, I was no light kid ever since I was born. As I said in the previous video, 11 pounds, 1 ounce. I wasn't actually entirely sure about that in the last video, so I went and asked my mom, and she said that was definitely it. And I was definitely 2 feet tall, but I exaggerated when I said 4 feet tall. In kindergarten, I was actually 3 feet tall. So anyways, I'm going to go back to this. I went ziplining for the very first time, and it is the very first time I was not afraid of heights. They said 1, 2, and before I could even say 3, I got shoved. I didn't have enough time to scream like a little girl, so I just enjoyed it. Then after I got down to the bottom, I was like, that wasn't so bad. I don't know why I was scared. So I went and I did it about 3, 4 more times, and then we went canoeing after that. Me and my other friend, we could not move a canoe properly if our life depended on it. If we were both paddling on the left-hand side, we could move in a straight line. Same with if we were both paddling on the right. We could move in a straight line. But so help us God, if we both tried paddling on 2 opposite sides of each other, we'd spin in a circle. Now, we were playing tag, so who wants to tag the guy that's not going to have any fun because they're just going to be doing circles the entire time? Nobody. But anyways, now I'm finished with that. I'm going to move on to high school. Now, actually, just backtrack a little bit. When I was in grade 7, my dad, I had found a note on my door when I had just got home from school saying I needed to go to my grandmother's. So I went to my grandmother's, and I found out my dad had been hung upside down on a highboy. And he had hit his head pretty bad. He had also ended up in a cast and out of work for a couple of months, and it was really a tough time. But this is leading up to now. I just wanted to clarify that. I will do more on his life in that video, and I will touch more on this because I feel like I'm running out of time here. But anyways, that had happened. Grade 8. I was this really chunky grade 8 nobody cared about. Except for I was one of the kids that not everybody hated the grade 8s. I remember somebody said, oh, grade 8s. And I was just sitting there. I had a grade 10, grade 11, and about 3 or 4 grade 12s at the table. One of them points at me and goes, he's grade 8. And she goes, oh, I didn't know. She didn't really feel bad. We did end up talking later. Didn't go any further than that because she had moved to Saskatchewan someplace, and we had just talked, and that was as far as that went because that's all I really wanted to do. So I talked to them, talked to her, and then grade 9, I met a bunch of Americans. Now, these Americans were not your typical Americans that are angry about everything. No, this was an entire Christian group. I think they were a youth group at the time. But anyways, I met these 3 lovely people that I had talked to. One of them I still am in contact with. I just haven't said much in the past, other than like happy birthday sort of thing. But anyways, I met these cool people and a guy named Robbie. Now, Robbie, I want to say congrats on getting hitched. I probably going to put this video on Facebook, and that certain somebody that I said I saved their life is probably going to hate me when he sees this video, but I do not care. Because I just wanted to clear that up. But now I'm moving ahead because I got to keep this video under 14 minutes. So, grade 9, that happens. Grade 10, you can imagine what grade 10 is like, your first exam. You're all flustered and stuff. But prior to that, I didn't realize anything that I was doing. I went through the phase in grade 8 of wanting a girlfriend to getting confused with what I wanted to do with life. Now, number 3 was I had people that liked me. I did not realize it. I screwed the pooch on that one. So, that being said, that was grade 8. Grade 10, I was going through the phase of I don't want to do anything. So, all I went and I did was just pretty much did my schoolwork at school. I never brought my homework home. But my grades did not really suffer. The only time my grades suffered is when I chose not to pay attention. That's like grade 11 and 12. Grade 11, gym, not so bad. Also had Hockey Academy at the time. And at the time, that was one of the worst decisions of my life. I was wearing player skates. The old player skates. You know, like the black leather kind of skates. The blades, those were thick. They are not like the thin ones today. I had all this old school goalie gear that I was wearing to every practice. I eventually got good, but then I got my goalie skates. I felt a little bit better, but I still could not properly do the pushes and the butterfly. Now, that being said, when I hit grade 12, I had actually fully joined a hockey team. I met a great group of guys and an awesome coach. We had a lot of fun at these tournaments for what I could do, but back in grade 10, I'm going to backtrack here, is when I really had an eye-opener in my life. Okay, in grade 10, my mother had been bit by a spider. And she was perfectly fine for the most part up until it came to Easter, the year that I was supposed to enter grade 11. Now, this Easter, I had just woke up at 2 in the morning. I heard a help call from my father. So I'm running over there as fast as I possibly can. My mother says she has to go to the bathroom. So we help her to the bathroom. And I didn't realize this at the time, but she was actually dying in front of me. I was just like, you can imagine, you just don't know what's happening at that point. Like, things seem to be moving so fast. We ended up calling the ambulance. They went and flew her to Prince George. She had actually been defibbed 3 times. As soon as I found that out, I was like, I didn't realize that this was going this way. So that had happened. Grade 11, it was constant visits from me going to Prince George to the hospital, seeing her, or seeing her in the Chetwynd Hospital. It's constant things like that. Grade 12, same thing. I had also volunteered for the Canada Winter Games. That was fun, by the way, don't get me wrong. I actually enjoyed that. But after grade 12, things just fell apart, and I just want to get this cleared up right now before I end this video. So, my dad, as I have said on Facebook and multiple other places, had passed away December 21st. At the time, on the 18th, we thought my mother was going to die, and apparently, when I dumped her in a snowbank, a lot of people call me stupid and ignorant for doing that, but we found out afterwards when we talked to the doctors, I had actually saved my mother's life. But when they got to the hospital in Prince George, my dad had his first stroke. Next day, he had another stroke. Day after that, he had another stroke. Day after that, he had 2 strokes, and that was the end of it. He had passed away. But it was caused by a brain hemorrhage. Now, this brain hemorrhage, I just realized had started way back when he fell off that high boy. And it's just been like a rocky road from there to where I am now, and that's like the main premise in this under 16-minute video. No, I said I wanted to keep it under 15, but I got sidetracked. Anyways, I just want to say I hope you're having a fantastic 2017. And if you're not, I hope things get better for you. I just know last year was the complete craps for me. These videos, I'm definitely trying not to swear unless I get aggravated, which hopefully never happens. But anyways, I hope you are having a great year. Peace.